We end the pay-per-view calendar year with a December event to dismember. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. Tables and ladders and chairs, oy vey. Can't they rename it to December to Dismember? They can still have TLC matches and all that, but at least the name sounds cooler. Sure, the only ECW-only pay-per-view was underpromoted and really wasn't that good, but that's no reason to dismiss the whole name out of spite. Think about it, WWE. For now, I guess we'll have to make do with, hopefully, 2 TLC matches, a guitar above the ladder match, a chairs match between 2 veterans, a tables match amid the ladies, and a number of title matches and other fights to flesh it out over 3.5 hours. So let's end the year with a bang. Here are my official, unofficial, official predictions for TLC 2018. As a kickoff show match hasn't been announced since I started writing this, I'll start with a match which I think will be the kickoff show match, the Mixed Match Challenge Season 2 Finals with R-Truth and Carmella versus Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. I hope the constant injuries from the participants will deter the WWE from doing this ever again. I'm no fan of the MMC. Never saw a single match. I cannot explain nor defend my decision. And giving either of these either of these teams a shot at the number 30 slots of the Royal Rumble next month, well, that tells me that no number 30 will win next year. R-Truth and Jinder are jokes. Fox needs to call it a career. Carmella? She still has some potential if she gets away from Mr. Killings. So I guess I'll go with Fabulous Truth. And that R-Truth will think he's finally got a shot at the women's title. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. Remember how Drew was before he left the WWE years ago? He was the cock of the walk, Mr. McMahon's chosen one, able to get what he wanted whenever he wanted. So why does he constantly need people like Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin to lift him to those heights again? How low has Drew dropped since he abandoned the WWE? Not that Finn has amounted to much since his 24-hour stint as Universal Champ. The only thing that keeps me interested in Balor is when he goes all Demon King 2 or 3 times a year. I'm really torn as I want both to get a push heading into WrestleMania season. If it hinges on if Bobby Lashley and or Ziggler give support. I'm going with Finn Balor because I don't think Lashley cares as much about McIntyre as Ziggler does. Chairs match. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. You saw this coming a parsec away, didn't you? Orton using chairs to damage the Ultimate Underdog over a few weeks on SmackDown was just bound to lead to a match using chairs as the only legal weapon, right? Seriously, both these guys are going through the motions en route to retirement. Not to say that Ray ain't got it still, he sure does, but unless he joins 205 Live sometime soon, he won't be getting another title in the WWE. And Orton's new Legend Killer 2.0 stance is not panning out like it should. Pardon. Much as I think they're both on their way out soon, it's Mysterio and his short contract that makes me feel he's first to go. So, winner is Randy Orton with an RKO ONW. RKO out of nowhere. Ladder match with a guitar hanging above the ring. Elias versus Bobby Lashley. Just when I thought there was nothing more ridiculous than a TLC match with nothing hanging above, they have a ladder match with something hanging above in which getting it does not end the match. Why didn't they just make it a guitar and the pole match instead and save the ladder match for Rollins and Ambrose? Well, anyway, this might be the easiest match to predict. Just because Elias's comfy swinging guitar doesn't mean he's the only one. And remember, Leo Rush will likely be there to help out in a pinch, and maybe even take the guitar hit for Lashley. And with the instrumental to Elias's win out of the way, Bobby Lashley will clean up and get the pin. TLC match. Braun Strowman against Baron Corbin. If Strowman wins, he gets Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at Royal Rumble. If Corbin wins, he's permanent GM of Raw. Man, this is a toughie. I mean, on the one hand, I really want Strowman to win so he can pound Lesnar into thinking twice about another contract extension. And yet, the arm injury looked pretty legit to me. Plus, as I said before, having Corbin create chaos as head honcho seems to be the way they're going. And yet, both Kurt Angle and Mr. McMahon are supposed to be on Raw after this pay-per-view. And yet, why would we need 2 TLC matches on one card? And yet, maybe I'm overthinking it. If Braun does show up and both Lashley and McIntyre are worn out by their matches, Strowman can literally beat Corbin with one hand behind his back. And if it's 3-on-1, something tells me it won't be for long. I'm sure the rest of the Raw roster will keep Baron Corbin from becoming HLIC. Head Luther in charge. I'll pick Braun Strowman and hope he shows up. Tables match. Natalya versus Ruby Riott. Now, there's no doubt that the psychological warfare by Riott is certainly asinine. First breaking Jim Neidhart's shades, allegedly, and now putting the late Anvil's fathead sticker on a table and threatening to put Natty through it. That's harsh. As harsh as, say, a certain Punk defiling Paul Bearer's ashes, again, allegedly, before a big WrestleMania match. And we all know how that worked out, right? Still, while Natalya will be at her most vicious in this match, there's no getting around the fact that it's 3-on-1. If Riott gets in trouble, Morgan and Logan will be there in this no DQ match to flatten Natty and break her father's heart. Not to mention his literal image on the table. Ruby Riott wins this one. Cruiserweight title rematch, Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. May not have gotten much right from Survivor Series in my predictions, but at least I nailed Murphy winning the belt. Talk about a true bruiserweight. I mean, not that Cedric didn't do his best, mind. This was one of the best matches of the last pay-per-view, and I'm really looking forward to this one doing the same. The result, however, will also remain the same. Buddy Murphy will retain, as he's just too brutal for Alexander to counter. Triple threat for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Bar defends against the New Day and the Usos. Sheamus and Cesaro lost their ace in the hole when Big Show had to take yet another injury hiatus. The New Day, entertaining as they may be, needs to move on from the Pancake Brigade like they did with Bootios and Ice Cream Pops. And the Usos? Well, I guess it's high time they got titles again, right? I am picking the Usos to win, but I'm really, really hoping that Sanity comes in to actually insert themselves into the SmackDown tag picture again. To see them beat the hell out of all 3 tiresome teams would make my night. So yeah, I pick Usos to win, but Sanity to kick ass. TLC match for the SmackDown Women's title. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. This just might be the time at last, folks. Asuka has felt defeat quite a few times since WrestleMania, and it seems like it's driving her harder. A women's title has been her goal since having to give up the NXT title and being promoted to the main roster. While the rules might favor the man with her no-nonsense brutality, we also saw at Survivor Series how vicious the Queen can be. It's the Empress that's the wild card here. She may have had some wicked matches in NXT, but nothing on par with this hellish match. And it's always the wild cards you need to watch out for in matches like these. You never know how far she'll take it. Now I'm feeling optimistic about this. So I'm rooting for Asuka to win this match. Raw Women's Championship. Rowdy Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. Now, I really don't think the WWE is ready for Ronda to relinquish her crown yet. They want to keep showing the world that she can beat down the women twice her size. The question is, can she beat down 2 women twice her size? That's 4. If Ronda was smart, she'd do to Tamina what Jax did to Mickie James at WrestleMania. Beat the snot out of Tamina so it can actually be one-on-one. Also, also in question, does Jax care more about hurting Rousey than winning the title? I keep saying this, and it's bound to hit sooner or later. Ronda Rousey will win by disqualification when Tamina rushes in to keep Jax from tapping out. It's gotta happen sometime. Intercontinental Championship match. Seth Rollins defense against Dean Ambrose. A lot of talking, but not a lot of contact between the two. Not since the last time Dean jumped Seth, unawares, that is. This whole ultimate hypochondriac deal of Ambrose's is a bit jarring, to say the least, and not the least bit funny. If he's so scared about catching something, then why is he in a profession where he's in skin-on-skin contact with other sweaty men? Seth's been taking the high road for the most part, though him in a TLC match 6 days before this match it seemed a bit reckless, in my opinion. Good thing is, it was a clean win, or Rollins would really be in trouble tonight. Dean may be rested in his hyperbolic chamber or whatever, but Seth Rollins will retain, either by pinfall or a countout when Ambrose decides to get out of town before he catches something lethal, like actual talent. Finally, the WWE Championship is on the line in a rematch as the new Daniel Bryan faces the phenomenal AJ Styles. I may not like how Bryan turned, but you can't argue how effective it's been. The match against Mustafa Ali is a clear indicator that this so-called new Daniel Bryan has passed up finesse for brutality in spades. Not that Styles can't bring the pain when need be, mind. It's just that Bryan seems to be more about the pain than about the title. He may not care about being disqualified as long as AJ gets beaten to a pit-free vegan pulp. But Styles can snap too, just ask Samoa Joe. If this doesn't end in someone getting DQ'd, I'll be a little shocked. In any case, I'm sure Daniel Bryan will still be WWE champ once it's all said and done. But as to who will actually win the match, I'm sorry, I can't predict it. I'm going to take a pass on this one. I really am sorry. Those are my picks. I'll be taking next week off, and we'll be back on the 30th with a best, worst of 2018 special. So have a safe holiday out there. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. See ya.